Good day and welcome back. Today we are going to be working on a recipe which base is a fruit called guava, which is indigenous of Latin America. This has a peculiar function to it because it has the capacity to control diarrhea. So consequently, it will be appropriate for those days in which, due to chemotherapy, there is a relatively easiness of the intestinal function. Again, my point to you is that all of this is done having in mind your enjoyment in life and your nutrition. Having said that, it's important the simplicity of the recipe as well as the inexpensiveness of it. So let me show you. I have a guava fruit, which smells perfect. And then I have, very simply, some sea salt. And then in this case, I'm going to be using a sugar substitute. Not necessarily because I like it or not, or because it's natural or not. But the point is that some people just happen that may have cancer and at the same time have a problem with glucose metabolism, meaning to say diabetes, in which maybe sugar substitute may be appropriate for them. Then I will have some mineral water. And the reason you may wonder why mineral water is important is because it has the lesser amount of dissolved minerals in it. So, very simple. I'm going to water the fruit, and you can see the beauty of the color of it. Now, the main problem that guava will have is that you will notice that indeed in the inside the seeds are relatively prominent and it's very hard. And that can become a problem later on, but I will show you how to get rid of them. And I'm going to quarter this. I maybe leave one of these beautiful ones here for the final presentation of it. Because remember that it's critically important to have a nice presentation for you. So I'm going to put all this put together in here, and I'm going to use the blender. And then I'm going to add my water. You know, the gas in this water will give it a little bit of air inside, which will give it a little puffy texture to it. I'm going to add a little salt, and just remember, just a pinch of salt. And salt is important, not because I'm trying to hydrate anybody as much as it enhances your taste as well. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this sugar substitute. And this is actually, it should be to the taste of yours. So we are going to go ahead and blend it. A little noisy. And once I have it blended, I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the container, and I'm going to actually strain it. And the straining is basically with the purposes of trying to get the seeds out of the way. And you can see the thickness of this. It has what they call in culinary term churning, which is basically adding a little bit of air to it. So I'm going to go ahead and filter that out. And you can see how I am actually extracting out all the seeds out of it. Now once I have this done, then it comes a very easy part, and that is basically the placing on a molding And I have basically two kinds of molds. And I just want you to notice that this is a flexible mold, and that makes it very easy later on to be manipulated with. This is as well a flexible mold, but notice that this is an elongated one, and the purpose for that is because if you try to pick this up with your hands, it will be difficult to get a rectangular, whereas in this one, you can actually use it even as a little stick so that you can put it in your mouth. So I basically have here my puree of guava, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in my mold. And like I'm doing this one, I will continue with the rest. And you can see the molding of it. I'm going to make sure that it's well fit in the inside. And I'm basically going to take this to the ice box, and I will leave it in there until I'm ready for it. So I'm going to it. All right, here I'm back, and this is already frozen. And as you can see, I can manipulate this very easily by taking them out, and I have a beautiful square. Or I can have a stick, which I can pull it out of the mold like this. So if so much is the problem, I can actually just put this directly into my mouth. And by the way, this is as good as it is for you as it is for anybody else. So please enjoy it. I really have enjoyed doing it myself. I really have put a lot of thought to it, and I certainly hope that you enjoyed it as well. This recipe is called Guava Popsicle, and in essence have the guava as a fruit, has salt as a pinch, and then it has a sugar substitute under the assumption that this is for somebody who suffers from diabetes, but it can be just plain sugar if in case it's a perfectly otherwise normal person. And I have mineral water. I hope to enjoy it.